I must have blew the system plate. You're jacking your whole set and the whole jack the chords off.
There you go. Now it's on.
One.
Wait, two.
All right, split.
Yeah.
One. Okay. Nobody else is gonna do it, guys?
Happy Manny.
Roxanne!
Andy and Roxanne. Andy and Roxanne are chickens. They don't want to do it. Okay.
You can't do bands with me as your drummer.
Okay, well, if nobody else wants to do it, then this will be done. Wanted to share just a moment with you. We can do something actually serious here, seeing that, you know, a good excuse.
Andy won. We want an encore.
See this weird looking thing here with the no 666? Anybody know what 666 stands for?
Number of the beast.
Number of the beast.
The mark of the beast.
Okay. Just a note, we've been studying that book of Revelation. It talks about that number in our Sunday morning Bible. What are you doing?
Back up, get the light. There you go.
Anyway, I've been doing a lot of research on this for a number of years. I guess I just want to share a couple points with you. I'd like to challenge you to consider that the Bible is really a powerful book, and it's got some things in it that are alive and real for you today. Even though the book of Revelation was written about the year 95, which is a long time ago, it said in there that at the end time, about the time when Christ was going to come back, that you couldn't buy or sell unless you took the mark 666 of the beast either on your forehead or on your hand. Kind of a strange system, but what it would be is an economic system where there's no money anymore, and the way you'd have to buy things or get food would be go into like 50 acres. You know how they run those checkout things across the computer system? Well, that's the kind of system we're talking about, with no money though. Instead of paying the lady when you're done, you just pass your hand across and your marking of your number would be on there. Now, what's significant about all of this thing is the fact that already this is in existence. There's already the setup of this whole system is already in our community today. If you go down to Sears, and you have to, at least 2 years ago when I went down there and talked to them, if you go down to Sears at the checkout counters, you go in, they have a telephone there at each checkout counter, and they have a set of buttons that looks like a telephone, but it doesn't have the hand dial on it, and it's hooked to the telephone. If you want to borrow $200 worth of product, and you don't have the cash, you charge it, they will go into their major computer, they will enter that computer by dialing 6, wait till it clears, they'll punch in second 6 till it clears, then they'll punch the last 6. That automatically enters into their major computer system. There they got your records in, and they can automatically see whether you can buy or sell according to your credit. Now, I asked the people about it when I was there. They showed me how it operated. I talked to them. The girl showed me how you did it, punched in the 666. An interesting correlation to what the Bible said almost 2,000 years ago. Now that's only one little example of the system that's raising its head up in our day. Now, 666 isn't some kind of magical number that, you know, like it's mystical or anything. All it is giving you a signal of when the time of Christ to come back is going to be, is at a time when the system of the world will be run on an economic level where the computer system is operated with no cash, and you have to mark with your 666 numbers as a code number. If you look at your universal product codes, you know, all the stuff you go to the grocery store has got all those funny little lines. Well, there's usually the standard, there's a number of different systems of these yet, but the major system is set up with 2 thin lines on the outside, 2 thin lines in the middle, 2 thin lines on the outside, and they're extended longer than the other lines. And if you check, you'll find that those are called entry codes. When they've been discussed with the other, the system people, that's just entry code. But if you look and study the numbers, a lot of times in some of the products I've found, you'll find those 2 thin lines mean 6. And the entry code into the system is 666. Again, there's a lot of other things. I mean, just because you get a number, if you got 1,000 grocery stores and your 666 store is there, it doesn't mean, you know, it's the Antichrist or anything like that. But with this corresponding concept of an economic system that you can't buy or sell unless you use that 666, you're doing it already. You're already buying products with that 666 entry code in it. Now, how many of you have heard of this before? Okay? A few of you have. Now, like I said, I want to lay this on you not to freak you out or anything, but I want you to see that the Bible isn't some book that's an old, dusty, worthless thing that you throw away or your grandmother uses it, you know? It's something that's so relevant, you need to check it out. And the scripture says a person is wise who understands this number, and it takes a wise person to see it. Because it's not on all the products. It doesn't say on the can, you buy a can of soup and it's got big letters about this size like this, 666 on it. Instead, they're markings. And if you don't pay attention, you wouldn't even know it. But the economic system has already arisen for the day for Christ to come back. And that's why I want to just challenge you with. And I'd like to ask you to consider, if you've never given your life to Jesus Christ, I would really like to challenge you to look more into this if you want to. I'd like to talk to you about it even. But I really like to make you think and realize that Jesus is a living God and He can really change your life. One thing that happened to me a number of years ago now, in 1971, is I really met Jesus Christ. He was no longer a story about a little baby that was born in a manger with a bunch of cows around him. He was no longer just a storybook figure. He became a living God to me. And even though I couldn't see Him, by my prayers to Him by faith, even though I didn't see Him, I by faith looked up into the heavens and said, God, would you hear me? Would you answer me? I need some food. He'd give me food. I'd say, Lord, I need some clothes. He'd give me clothes. He gave me cars. He's given me things that I needed. So I know that God is real. He really answers prayer when you call out to Him. He really cares about you and your little details, your needs, your feelings, your hurts. He really cares because He answers me, and I know I'm nobody. So I know that He cares. If He cares about me, He'd care about every one of you and wants to work in your lives. And He wants to bring you to heaven forever. And that's the real key. So I'd like to challenge you tonight to think about that and consider Christ. Maybe you've never heard about it before. Maybe you never thought about it. But I really plead with you to consider Jesus Christ and what that really means and how much He really can change your life and take you through eternity to heaven. Okay? In about 10 minutes, I don't know, you guys want to do that? It's not a snowball fight, it's a bunch of newspaper. But you make the newspaper into snowball fights and you massacre each other. Is that what you guys want to do that?
No.
How many say no? Raise your hand.
Put on the movie.
How many say yes? How many say yes? Okay, well, what we'll do then, we're not going to do the snowball fight thing. Okay, the movie will start in there. Empire Strikes Back again will run a second time. 10 minutes for the movie. Otherwise, you can do what you want.
Better do another song.